Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are watching around the world. You are joining Speed Force Racing Division 1, and we are at the dreaded Monaco. Very much could be won by Bert Marlander in the safety car, but Division 2 last night didn't do too bad. They only won safety cars, so maybe Division 1 can follow suit and only have one safety car. That'd be awesome. I'm SFR-energydan. I'll be your host and commentator this evening, and a very pleasant surprise, we are joined by a co-commentator of IRT Indigo. How are you doing, mate?
Not doing too bad, thank you. And how are you?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad, mate. I'm actually looking forward to this one. It's going to be a good one, mate. It's going to be a good one. It'd be funny if it's raining, though. I know that. I do try and do this all the time, actually. I try and say things that make the commentator's curse come true, like rain. But I've not got the hang of it yet. It's always ended up being dry. But yeah, we can but hope.
Yeah, the Monaco is such a difficult track. I know a lot of these drivers will probably be dreading it tonight, but yeah, let's see how it goes with a short qualifying at 18 minutes and 39 laps around this track. Full concentration is required for every single driver out there, because if you lose concentration, you might find yourself in the walls around here, and there's plenty of them as well with the street circuit. So Monaco will be a challenge tonight for all these drivers, and let's see how they get along.
Yeah, I mean, have you done much driving around Monaco on this game, or have you not touched it?
Well, to be honest, I try to keep away from it as much as possible. The last time I did it, I had to do it back in 2022, but I didn't do much of it. I've commentated around here, and there's been some pretty interesting races, because when people are behind each other, they desperately want to go for it, because they don't want to get stuck behind people, especially on older tyres as well. That tends to be the case around here with people coming out behind. So strategy is critical here tonight, and not a huge fan of this track myself in terms of racing it, because I probably end up in the wall or something like that. But yeah, I'm not really good at this track at all.
See, I think it is a good track, but the last season's game and this one, it's sort of like changed a little bit. The characteristics of the track just not quite the same. It's driving a little bit different. The aero seems to be affected on this track quite a lot. So you definitely don't feel as planted as you used to on this track. And I've got a feeling there's a couple of drivers, going off topic by the way, there's a couple of drivers, especially if they're outside the top 10, might be trying to make the two-stop work. If they can get into clean air, it's possible, but safety cars will play a big part in this as well. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what people do, but I think the go-to strategy if you're in the top 10 is the hards to mediums. That can change with safety cars, but yeah, without safety cars, 100% it is hard to mediums. It looks like we've got a dry session.
Yeah, it is indeed. I've seen people do the two-stop, but if it's a clear race without any safety cars, which probably be unlikely. But like you said, I think you said you only had one safety car in Tier 2. Depends when that comes out, of course, and see if it plays into other people's hands. But yeah, if it's a clean race without any safety cars, it should be that one stop, like I said, mediums to hards or hards to mediums. But I think safety cars will be a big factor tonight, so it could change up the strategy quite a lot in this race and create a few variables then. But we're just waiting for a few drivers to come out of the pit lane. I can see down near the end of the pit lane that some people are coming out then, so it'll be very interesting to watch their laps, especially right here in Monaco. Are you still there, Dan?
Yep, sorry mate, I was just adjusting my mic. Looks like the Aston Martin's out first of is it Martin? No, it is Yeast. So just on board with Yeast now, coming down the hill. So I do suspect as well, a lot of these drivers are going to do 2 runs per set of softs. Possibly saving one set as well. It does depend on their allocation, whether they've chosen 4 sets of softs for the qualifying or the 3 with the extra set of mediums. I personally would go for the 3 set of softs and the extra set of mediums. What about yourself, Indigo?
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, because if it's a track like Austria or somewhere like that where the tyre wear is not as bad, I think in the older games they used to go for like 4 set of softs, 1 set of medium and 1 set of hards, so I agree with you on that one. But I always prefer to have 2 sets of mediums, because I remember in the 2022 game where everybody was complaining about only having 1 set of hards and 1 set of mediums, and when the safety car came out for like 2 or 3 times, they don't really have that extra set of tyres to put on. So I think I enjoy the new strategy, the same strategy that was implemented all the games ago except 2022, to have the extra set of mediums at their disposal. But we've got Yeast there making his way towards the first corner. Sanderpot as Jeff would famously say. No heroics into Santa Barbara, but now we're coming towards Casino Square then. It's going to be a difficult one. We're carrying a lot of speed through here, as well. We saw Mick Schumacher, I think, crash at the exit of this corner back in 2022 as we head off where Nico Rosberg went down at 2014 as Hamilton was very good of Nico, but he did not notice, I'm not quite sure. But he went on to win the race anyway, Nico Rosberg, because I think Hamilton suffered with dirt in his eye. But this is, you can see there, he's just struggling a bit on traction there. You can see wheel spinning coming out slow speed corners there, come out of 40, I believe that was, and now we're coming through the flat out into the tunnel. This is also an opportunity to overtake, but you're going to be right alongside or ahead. But it looks like coming out the Nova chicane then, you're going to get as close to the wall as possible around here without escaping, of course. You see some people hit the wall there to exit of I believe that was, but Nico Rosberg went on in 2009. You can see he's there taking the curve, which unsettled the car just a bit. And now we're going through Rascas, where we see some people clip the wall with their right rear tyres. He's just sliding all over the place, but let's see what the initial lap time for him is going to be, as it's going to be 11.1.
And that will change. That will definitely change. This track, I suspect it will get at least 1.4 seconds quicker once it rubbers in. Yep, Kuipers goes quickest on a 1:10.8, followed by Yeast on the 11.1, Wesker and Mackett close behind with 11.5. MDJ just goes quickest with a 1:10.051.
Wow, what a lot of time there from MDJ. I used to be in the same team with him. We used to find a championship together, which was very intense, but we're still good friends to this day, all those years ago. I know he's very quick, MDJ. On his good day as well, he will perform. But I believe somebody crashed out at the Nova chicane. It was an AlphaTauri of Smithy there who crashed out at the Nova chicane, so I suspect he went a bit too deep and just lost the field of focus. So that's him, done and dusted in the qualified session. But what a great lap time there to put 8.10 between himself and his Dutch compatriot in P2 then. So MDJ got some clear pace in that Mercedes, especially with that one lap pace already early on in this qualified session. So I hope to see some drivers in the nines then, because if you want to beat that, that'll be nice for sure.
Just on back with Zenon now, as he's coming out the tunnel. He's just about got through unscathed. He has got traffic up ahead, so hopefully he can get through without catching these guys. I've just noticed as well, Sonic Ox came out on the hards. I don't know why he's done that, maybe it's a mistake. And he just loses the back end. Very unfortunate.
That corner is difficult, but Zenon wants to straighten the car up as quickly as he can before he gets a disqualification for Hawking or going the wrong way then. But he's lost his end plate, so he'll be headed off his ticket lane. Luckily he was ghosted, so no cars can make contact with him. But yeah, that corner proved to be difficult with the lack of grip around here, with early doors in qualifying. As you can see, I saw some people sliding at the exit of the swimming pool session there, so that's also proven to be a difficult part of the racetrack here. But
Kezabi just going through the same section now. Doesn't look as planted, but definitely kept it straight. Coming through Rascas now. Penultimate corner. Let's see what we can do for his first hot lap. Doesn't look as tidy as he can be. Yeah, 1:10.3. He's going in for second place. That did not look like such a good lap, but yeah, proved me wrong there. Very good lap.
Yeah, he's done 2 laps on those set of soft partage, as you'd expected earlier on in this qualified session. So is Calvin in P5. Looks like he's going for an improvement. No, he's not. That was his best that time. I think he's not. He's still backing out of it. You never know if he's supposed to be qualified at back or not. So Calvin looks like he's going for it once again with 2/10 improvement in that first sector. The thing is for Sonic Hawk as well in P11 on the hard compound tyres, going for a lap around here on the hard with a 1 lap pace, it's going to be low grip surfaces. He's going to slide all over the place, but luckily he's only done 2 laps on this hard compound tyres, so I thought he could go for the longevity. But looks like Calvin at middle sector has lost a bit of time. It looks like he was a bit tentative heading to the fast speed corners there, so hopefully he can gain that time back. He went a bit deep into Rascas.
Yeah, he's bailed it. Yeah, thought he would do. Kez will be coming in, I believe.
Doesn't look like another lap either, does Keza, so he'll be off his pit lane. He's done 2 laps already on those set of soft compound tyres, so a new set for him. I don't know if anybody's on the lap time Dan. I think Mansell's
on a slow lap, yeah. I think. What about Lasers on out lap? Coming through the tunnel. Yeast has only just come out, so it might be Martin. No, Lasers ahead of Martin, so the Lasers setting the lap first, I believe.
Yeah, Laser there, our Chad Bishop lead. I don't think he had quite a good race in the middle, judging by the results. I haven't watched it all because I've got a lot to catch up on down the path. So what happened in the middle with Laser there? Because he said to me before the race that he was going to win.
Do you know what? I'm sure he came second or third in Miller. Because I know Stewarding knocked Andreas down to 4th, so I think he got 3rd. But I could be wrong. Right, so he's done Bobby Lazy now as he's coming up the hill. Let's see if he gets this first section nailed. This section is very tricky, especially if you have to aim for that right hand corner. Let's see how tight he gets it. Not as tight as he could do. Purple sector 1 though. You see that car bottoming out as he goes over that curb. It's very strange. A lot of these laps, they don't look quick, but they're producing some quick lap times. Like Keza B's lap time, it didn't look tidy, but he shot up to P2.
Could be a case of other people struggling too, right? We've definitely seen a lot of people struggle with the curves and the exit of this track, especially using the curb and twin session, where I've seen quite a few people lose time. He clipped the wall going to see. He done it again, clipping both the walls.
This will be like 111.2, I think, maybe.
We'll have a look at D. Let's see what he does.
110.8, fair play. He's up for 4th place. Literally a smidgen behind Kuiper's. See what Martin's going to do. Martin's on a hot lap now. I think Yeast should be the next one, I believe. Yep, Yeast about to cross the line. He's a 10th and a half up. Nope, stays 6th.
Yeah, he looked like he had a bit of a wobble on going to the final corner of Anthony Nose. It looks like he lost a bit of time, but I think Kuiper has improved by only a few bunches of that middle sector down. So let's see what lap time he can say. Can he get anywhere near? He has to find a lot of time, but it looked like he found 3/10 in that final sector alone, despite losing time in the middle sector. So maybe if he hooks it up all together, he can find himself closer to the front. So let's see if he can do that, especially gaining 3/10 in that last sector like Verstappen did on a lot. So this year at the Monaco Grand Prix. But I think we've got who else is out there? Mercedes coming towards that Oliver in the Mercedes there. He just validated the turn 1 on his first lap, so that stood and dusted very quickly, taking too much curve on the entry towards that corner. But I think AlphaTauri is next across the line. He is. It's JDM with a 1.3 second improvement in that middle sector. So let's see if he catapults up the order. His best lap time is 11.9, so he should be in the 10s as he makes his way now towards the line.
MDJ goes one. Oh no, JDM. Sorry, went 2nd place. We've got a yellow car, yellow flag somewhere. I think it was the Haas.
I think somebody's parked up at the entry towards, I can't remember what it's called actually, Mirabeau. There was an Alpine who was parked up there momentarily on the map. I think he was getting out of the way from people, whether it was a lap or not, I'm not quite sure. So I'll update on that to see who it was. I can't quite tell who it was, it's definitely an Alpine.
Right, so Mansell is half a second up in sector 1 already on a fresh hot lap. Oh, it might have traffic ahead. I think it might be. No, it's not his teammate, it's someone else. It's a Red Bull. Must be Zenon in front. Let's hope he don't get caught up. MGD goes quick, he's now into the 109s. 109.607. Absolute belting lap from MDJ there.
Great lap time for the Dutch with a D, puts about 6/10 between himself and JDN, and the first man in the 9s, improving well by a huge 4/10, so that will definitely help him towards the later stage of qualifying, improving that lap time. But I think now we've got Mansell coming towards the end of the middle sector. 3/10 up is Mansell. Can he put himself inside that top 10? Can he get himself to the 10s where some of the drivers are in the top 8 as he makes his way now towards Raskas? Gets his car straightened up and final corner and nose. Wow.
Big wheel spin there.
Doesn't
improve. Oof.
Very ruthless as well.
I think, is it Sonic Hawk on a lap now? Let's have a quick look. No, he's on a slow lap.
Oliver's on one if you want to keep an eye on him. He's coming towards to back now.
Yeah, let's have a look at Oliver.
he touched the wall before last gas, but luckily he got for wind damage. But he makes his way now towards the final corner. Smooth exit from him. Oliver makes his way now towards the line. Let's see what lap time is this. It's going to be 11.5, so it's P13.
Some guys are struggling round here.
I'm not surprised, but it's just such a difficult demanding track this is. You've got it absolutely spot on with the braking zones, the high speed corners as well, hitting the curves at the right time because it can unsettle the car very easily. So I'm not surprised when these drivers are struggling around here. I would be struggling too if I was on this track. I mean, it is one of those age-old sayings. It's horses for courses. Some people just don't like street circuits. Some people do. I mean, I'm definitely a lover of street circuits. It's where I shine, or sort of shine. So just could be that we're seeing the same in Division 1, that, you know, some people just don't get along with street circuits. A bit like, you know, Rogue Smithy proved that by going out on his out lap, or his first hot lap. Obviously don't like street circuits. I'm not the only one to do that on out laps. I've hit the wall on the safety car at Nelbush came before. It's very frustrating, but street circuits, it depends which one it is, because Monaco absolutely Oliver almost lost it when out of Liverpool section, but it depends what street circuit it is, because I like Singapore. Singapore is one of my favourite tracks.
Me too,
I don't know why I'm alright there. I thought I would be struggling a lot, but it turns out I'm actually decent there, maybe judging from the previous version, 2022, when I finished on the podium in another race, which I won't expect.
It's such a fun track, I love it. Singapore is by far, hands down, my favourite track.
Glad you agreed on that one. I think there's a new update regarding Singapore as well.
There is. So they've taken out the 1990 bridge section, so it's now just a straight through.
Oh, interesting. Might have to have a look on that one. But look at that, Dan. We've got 3 minutes left in qualifying, so these lap times will have to count now for these drivers to get as high up there as they possibly can. And so MDJ securing pole with Keza 2/10 within distance of him. So can he improve on those 2/10 to try and get pole away? But we've got some drivers then making their way towards the line, such as Laser. So he crossed the line now to start his flying lap as he heads into turn number 1. Then as he takes it very nicely indeed. He used a lot of the curve though, but maybe wasn't confident to do that or just missed it. But as he heads now into Casino, and let's see how he takes this one. Aim for that right hander, of course, not as tight like he said on the previous lap either. But has he improved? Only by 300ths in that first set there. So can he make up the lost time? Oh, he hit the wall
twice.
In an unexpected place.
I'm going to jump on board Wesker because he's actually further on, coming through the tunnel on a hot lap, and he's a 10th up.
Let's see how the Williams does then as he makes his way towards when Michael Schumacher crashed, I think, in 2005 under the tunnel. Correct me if I'm wrong, I can't remember from this year, but I know he definitely did it. But he comes out there then to another chicane. Let's see how he takes through 2 back, a high speed corner. We'll see Nico Rosberg crashing there back in 2008. Very tight through there indeed, just edging towards the barriers as you want to do, using all the track as you could possibly get away with. That's 3/10 improvement as well. I was so close there to getting the entry towards Anthony Nose, but he makes his way now towards the line. Where does the Williams put his car? P6.
Laser coming across the line. Does he improve? No, it doesn't. Let's jump on board with Mackie. Oh, too late. He's coming across in 11th, so he improves. Zenon is invalidated.
Validations might see them most often now because all the pressure's ramping up with the late stages of qualifying. I think with the laser law situation, he might be on a cool down lap to go for another flying lap, because I know he hit the wall. Maybe he just got away with plate damage, otherwise he would have boxed for a brand new front wing. But I think Laser now is just trying to save something. No, he's not actually using it. So I think he's going for another lap as Laser. He's flying past in the tunnel there, but he's quite low in it as he makes his way now towards the Nova chicane. Then big 100-meter board, a bit tentative going there, gets back in the throttle, but he makes his way now towards the back. How much time has he improved in this middle sector? Gets so close to the barriers, 2/10 up, almost 3/10, so that's crucial for him. Let's see where he can put that McLaren. Oh, he hits the wall again. We've seen plenty of people hit the wall at the exit of the swimming pool session, and so not particularly liking that part of the track, but he makes his way now towards Anthony Nose. Wheel spinning massively on the exit there, might lose him a bit of time, making his way towards the line. He actually lost a lot of time there.
Yeah, he did. It certainly seems like this track isn't giving the grip that these guys are wanting.
A lot of drivers still struggling here. It's just so difficult, this track, so demanding, so relentless as well, with the walls around you and the curbs as well. They can be quite deadly as well if you take him a bit too much as it proves to be, especially in that spin section as well. But I think Calvin's on a flyer. He's 3/10 up in the middle sector, Dan, so let's keep an eye on him in the Alpine and see what he does. But we're coming towards the dying stage of qualifying with the pole man on his outlap. I think Kai first has moved up into P3 in the Haas, so the rate lap time from him with a 9.9 during the 9 up. And now Calvin makes his way down towards the line. Let's see what lap time he can say. It's 10.9.
Jumps up to 8th place for Calvin, fair play. And I think we've got, I think it was Martin on a hot lap. He's only half a tenth up into the chicane, into the hairpin, sorry. Just about to enter the tunnel. Doesn't look as planted as you'd like.
I'm just on board with him now, so let's see how he does coming towards the Nova chicane. Let's see how he takes this. You want to take all the curve on the edge of that one. Bit of wheel spin, but that's part of the process around here. So qualifying has came to a close. I think MDJ hasn't improved. It's at 9.6. Martin's improved by 2/10, carrying a lot of speed through this Liverpool section was Martin. Now coming towards Raskas. Let's see how he takes this slow right-hander. Gets back the power. Brake again, coming towards Anthony Nose. And I think somebody's just moved up the order there in the Mercedes as Martin makes his way towards the line. It's P8 in the Aston Martin.
Calvin's on the fly. Oh, Calvin! Oh, just approaching Raskas. Calvin invalidated his lap. Let's see what Burmeister's about to cross the line. Could be a good lap. Nope, doesn't improve. Yeast. Nope, he's valid. Right, so that's going to be your final order by the looks of it.
Qualifying's done then, so DJ secures pole with a 9.6, 2/10 clear of Keza. And I think with Martin's validation, he had to get out of the way as quickly as he can for Burmeister approaching on the scene very quickly there into Raskas. So luckily he did that. There was a space there because it would have been so difficult to get out of the way if he didn't do that. So yeah, MDJ on pole ahead of Keza, pass in a great position in P3 and P5 as well. JDM in P4, Wesker at P6, Laser, our championship leader, in P7 with Martin in P8, Mack at P9, and Yeast rounds off the top 10 then. Looks like Calvin's done 3 laps on the same set of tyres there, it looks like on this graphic to me. Yes, he has, he's done the exact same. Maybe he's saving a set of softs later on in the race. Just
I think he would, I think he's made, yeah. I'd certainly be doing the same thing. I'd be saving a set of softs. Just quickly going back to Martin as well. I'm actually quite pleased with Martin's time there. He's one of the pad users from Division 1, and you know, Monaco is not a pad track. It is very much OP for wheels. So you know, top 10 in qualifying on a pad. I think that's quite a good showing, to be honest with you. So MDJ taking that top spot, 109.6. I did expect Division 1 to be putting in 109.4s, maybe 109.3s. But yeah, looked like that track wasn't rubbering in as quickly as we thought. But you know, 1.5 seconds between P1 and P14 is quite a big gap. But again, comes down to qualifying setup versus race setup. Are the guys set up for the race? Are the guys set up for qualifying? So it'd be interesting to see what happens in the race.
Yeah, a track like this, I expect the gaps to be big. If it's on all the tracks, then I think the gaps would be like under a second between like P1 all the way down to P17. But obviously, with the difficulty of this track being so high, a lot of people are likely to suffer around here. We've seen a lot of people get close and personal with the walls and even scraping them quite a few times on that lap time down.
No, definitely, yeah, double times as well. But I've got a quick prediction for you. Smithy will do soft, medium.
Oh, that's a bold strategy. So let's see how he does on that then.
I might be wrong, but
what makes you say that?
Because if you get Smithy at the back of a pack, he wants to make up positions. He knows that the majority of the field are going to start on hards, and he knows that it's likely a safety car's going to come out. So he'll start on softs. If a safety car comes out, that just extends the life of his softs, and then he'll pit probably lap 10 for another set of softs, and then basically when he finds the clean air when people pit, he'll use them softs to try and eke out a bit of a lead to then put mediums on at the end. If I know Smithy well enough.
Fair enough, might as well, because you've got nothing to lose being in the back, got everything to gain in front of you, so might as well go for that strategy call.
Just a heads up as well, mate, we don't have a formation lap set on, so when we get the graphic change, it'll be straight into the race.
I think there's a formation lap glitch still here on this game. I thought it was sorted out, but it's still not.
Yeah, we thought it was, but when we put formation lap back on, the glitches started reappearing, so we turned it back off again.
What is the glitch, by the way? I've never experienced the formation lap, so I'm not really
from what I know, it creates a lot of desyncs. We never delved into it. Why? A few of the admins noticed it, so we just made the decision to turn it off.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Might as well. You don't want to create loads of bugs in this session with all the drivers' availability. I know some people are absolutely fuming with the restart. And Calvin says, "Good evening, teammate. Hopefully you're doing well, and have a good race as well, Calvin."
So, shouldn't be too much longer now. Just waiting for the guys to select their race strategies. As always in SFR, we always wait 30 seconds to allow drivers to choose their setups, apply the fuel, and have a good think about what they're going to have to do in the race. So momentarily we should be on with Speed Force Racing Monaco Division 1.
All the drivers are thinking, oh, I'll let you go with this one.
4 red lights, 5 red lights, and it's lights out and away we go. It looks like MG have got a really good start there. Bogged down a little bit in the second phase. And we're tangling already into turn 1. There's a couple of positions being lost already. This looks like the 2 Ferraris just getting a little bit tangled at the first. Oh, Sonic getting pushed out towards the back as well. Just on board with JDM now. Keza B looks like he's got through. Getting chased down by the 2 Haas drivers. We're approaching the hairpin. Looks like we're through quite tidy. Martin, looks like Martin's up 2 positions already. Let's just put the details on. Yeah, Martin's up 2 positions already, so Martin acing the start on those medium tyres.
I think I've seen him going down to the hairpin. I think Calvin made contact with the Aston Martin, sent him sideways, but he stayed on track, and Senna was able to take advantage of Calvin, so he moves down the blades. But we've got a yellow flag already. That's Shizu's gone.
No safety car yet.
I'm surprised that's not a safety car, because that's basically it's a street circuit, so you expect a safety car in real life, but obviously in the game it's completely different. As Russ Smithy there has made 2 places on the medium compound tyres, so that's your British and gone there, Dan.
So I am surprised that Keza B, that MDJ, Kuipers and Burmeister are all on mediums. Quite a lot of drivers selecting the mediums. I'm really surprised at that. I think Keza B and JDM are in a better position here. Even Layers is in a good position because he'll be able to go much longer than the medium tyre runners. Yeah, what do you think's gone on there, Indigo, with the mediums? Because I would have thought hards would have been the way to go here.
Yeah, I thought so too, but with the high, there's a battle going on. I'll take it through into the head, and then with the AlphaTauri around the outside, great move there from the AlphaTauri, or maybe he was defending, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, it's Ross Smithy, so he actually overtook the Alpha Romeo, but maybe they think the medium runners, that safety car might have, Burmeister takes a penalty already, early stages, you might see a lot of that, but I think these guys are thinking about a safety car like, well, probably around later on in the race, and maybe they're on the medium compound tyres, and when that safety car comes out, they can take those hards towards the end. So Keza and JDM will be hoping for a later safety car, round about when the medium should come into play, and they'll put onto the medium compound tyres and take the ball towards the end. So let's see how the strategy plays out. Who's got the best strategy so far? But what's important for Keza is to keep within close distance of MDJ, not allow him to pull away too much, and try and keep that gap under as much time as he can. I know it's going to be quite difficult with the better tyres on MDJ's car, but if Keza could do that, then it'll be pay dividends for his race later on in this race then. So let's see how the strategy unfolds. But with the 2 Hasses on the medium compound tyres, one of them has to go longer than the other, so they might get compromised, but bear in mind that the 2 Williams are also on the same strategy as well. So we've got the hards and mediums to play, nobody in the softs.
See, the only problem as well with the medium, starting on the medium, is you then have to get the hard tyre worked up when you go out the pits. I know some people are better at it than others, but I just think on a track like Monaco, you want to be coming out on a grippier tyre with a lighter fuel. I don't know what you think, mate. We've got a yellow flag.
Martin's retired.
Oh, Martin's out. That could be a safety car. That's a dangerous position.
So what has he done? It looks like he's just hit the entry towards the double chicane. He's lost his...
He did it for Verstappen, didn't he? Yeah.
Oh, it's a shame there, but Martin, that's both Aston Martin's gone then in the space of 3 laps, and it looks like they'll get no points for this race. My MDJ will continuously to extend that gap on the mediums. That's his job, MDJ, just to pull out a big gap as much as he can then before he fits on that hard compound tyre. That's his race plan there. Use these mediums to his protection and pull away. And JDM stick up in the back there. This is the problem with Monaco, obviously. It's so difficult to overtake that the likes of both Hasses there on the medium compound tyres will not take advantage of those people on the hards. Unlike any other track, they might do it, but on this track it's going to be so difficult then. So Keza JDM in a really great position. I think Laser Lord as well, like you said, yeah, he's pressurising the Williams of Mackett there, just falling out the train just a little bit with his teammate there, 3.2 seconds behind Burmeister, who's also at a DRS range of his teammate. Both Hasses went side by side coming out of turn number 1. They make it out cleanly then, so Rookie Steiner will be happy about that one in the Haas pit wall. But yeah, it's a great battle between both Hasses, and Piper's made it out on top with P4.
Just touching on Laser as well, there's actually quite a big battle going on from Laser all the way back to Rogue Smithy, even Mansell really. This pack's quite tight. It could be anyone's really. I know Laser's desperate to stay on the back of Mackett, and Zenon's clinging on for dear life. He's coming along with him. Calvin, who I'm actually quite surprised, he's staying with these guys, so fair play to Calvin. And then of course you got Oliver playing the long game on those hards. I don't think he's going to want to make any silly moves. He's going to bide his time. I wouldn't be surprised if some drivers do try and go hard to soft.
Could be also another possibility around here as well, hard to soft. I've seen some other people extend that hard as long as they can to go to the soft compound tyres to try or potentially have the better tyres towards the end and back their rival. That's their best chance really, to have a brand new set of soft stacks on their car while the other drivers are running hard compound tyres and have a fighting chance with that one. But MDJ then in P1, clear at the front, no pressure whatsoever from behind, but obviously with this medium compound tyre, he's got to push as hard as he can then to pull away from the hards, because those hard runners will be on the mediums very shortly. But I dare say, if that is the case then, with no safety cars potentially, I still think it would be a difficult task to overtake, even though those guys will be on the medium compound tyres later. It's like role reversed. I think it would be very difficult to even overtake as well, despite being on that better tyre on the mediums towards the end. That's the problem around this track. Track position or qualifying is a key part of the race here, and it proves to be here in Monaco all the time.
So just on board with Laser now, mate. I think he's trying to put some pressure on the back of Mackett. He's clearly got better pace, but there's not many places you can get past. I think he's going to try and bully Mackett into a mistake here.
Talk about bullying to a mistake. Zenon's just lost 2 places there, because I think Oliver had a much better exit out of the swimming pool section. I think Zenon had a problem coming out there. You know, it allowed Oliver all over the back of him. He overtook him around the outside into Rascat, but there was contact with Zenon touching the side of the Mercedes and sent him to a half spin, sliding to the corner, and therefore Rook Smithy took advantage. He's moved from P17 to P11, so he's made up some ground on those medium compound tyres, about 5 places. So what a great start from Rook Smithy, just outside the top 10. As you can see, this whole bunch of cars just holding each other up. They'll take advantage of the first mistake. But to keep it clean here, otherwise you'll find yourself falling down the order quite dramatically, especially in that direct train.
Yeah, not close enough to make a move into that chicane there, but he's gearing up. Well, we'll just see Mackett there just get a little bit tail happy as he tries to put the power down.
Very close to the walls there, but luckily made it out unscathed. I think Rook Smithy is a ghost for some reason. Hope he gets solid. Yeah, he's solid now, so whether maybe he was just like that a bit, I'm not quite sure, but he's solid. It looks like an Alpine's gone deep into the corner. I think Oliver might take advantage, but smartly he backs out of that one. Doesn't want to risk going side by side. Rook Smithy is pushing him through the corners. He's all over the back, and that Mercedes getting better grip and demand from those medium compound tyres up the inside into Sandoval we go, and he gets up into P10. What a great move there from Smithy to move into P10 from P17.
Yeah. Looked clean from Smithy there, to be honest with you. Fair play to Smithy.
Had to get the move done really. He's on the medium compound tyres, and he took advantage while he had the chance with Oliver getting out of shape into Raskas, and he took the opportunity right there, grabbed it.
So I think Calvin needs to either get a move on. Oh. So I thought I saw something then. Yeah, Calvin, he's in a bit of a predicament here because Rogue Smith is obviously on a bit of a charge. Laser's also on a charge. So you needs to stick on the back of Laser to try and counteract against Smithy, because Smithy will find a way through. He's good like that. So yeah, I wouldn't like to be in Calvin's position right now.
Yeah, indeed, mate. And I can see some people really struggling for traction at the exit of the double chicane. A few people sliding up on the corner. I think Relics has just tapped the entry towards Swivel on the left-hand side, so you can get away with full damage these days. Someone's in the pits, by the way. That's Red Bull of Zenon then, so that's an early pit stop on lap 8. Is that a booking change? No, he's on the hard cop. But I think he's going for the undercut, you know, just gaining track position. I've seen this before. People pitted very early to go to the end of the hard compound tyres because they know they're stuck in that train. They know they've got no other options unless people make mistakes. So the risk of that is potential safety car. If it all goes well, laps.
31 laps on hards, mate. I want that to be in them shoes.
I've seen people do it before, but I think you can do it. It depends if it's got the consistency.
I agree, mate. It's doable. It's just I know for a fact there's a few people that are going to be on grippier mediums toward the end.
That is true, to be honest with you, but with this track being so hard to overtake, we've seen a few overtakes already, so we might see some more later on. But Zenon then, he wants some clear air, he wants to get out of that train knowing there's no other option. Sonic Hawk has overtaken Relics, and that's in no tunnel, so something must have happened. But
Smithy with 3 second time penalty.
That's a shame there for Smithy, and that'll cost him towards the end then.
I imagine quite a few drivers will get penalties. It's so easy, especially through that section there. And of course, turn 1 is quite easy to pick up penalties and warnings.
Zenon, talk about penalties. Zenon's got one. He's really pushing hard. I've seen the gap was 18.5, now it's 17.4 towards Relics then. So he's using the brand new set of hards and clean air to try and gain all that time back because he won't overcut on these guys. Undercut on these guys and try and pull away as much as he can while he has the chance before those guys switch over to brand yourself hards or mediums and catch up to him later on in the race. So
19.1 seconds you need for a pit stop round here, so that's the benchmark. But he's pulling tenths and tenths and tenths back per mini sector, so he could be on for a good charge here.
Let's see how many guys he can jump once those guys make their pit stops, because he'll jump the order quite dramatically being clean air, rather about P7 I think, that's the most he can get, because I think Webster is too far ahead. I got confused there between Mackie and Webster there, apologies about that, but yeah, I think both Williams are quite close together. I think P6 might be on for him if he can keep his pace up lap after lap. Oh, there's battle going on there. I think Mackie's had a problem coming out of the swimming pool section. He's been overtaken now by Laser, so he's in the pit lane.
I think he's lost connection, mate, because he was ghosted.
Oh, that's a shame there for Mackie. Let's see if there's a front wing change for the Williams driver. May hit the wall. Somebody else is in the pit lane too. That's Relics following. Calvin's got a 3-second penalty to add some more woes, but it looks like these guys are doing the same thing, you know, just getting out of that train and putting on a brand new set of hards to try and take it towards the end. Same as Relics, but he's changed his for wing, or is he serving a penalty? He's changed his for wing. Yeah, he's changed his for wing.
So we're kind of just settling down into a bit of a waiting game now, just to see what these guys all do. I think Sonic's in a good position, even though he's at the back there. I don't think these medium guys are in a good position, apart from MDJ, who's got that pace advantage. Nearly 5 seconds in front of Keza B. It is fluctuating though. So Laser still on the charge for Wesker. He did drop back on the last lap a little bit. Maybe it was just tyre cooling a little bit, but seems to be back on the pace now, chasing him down. I mean, when would you expect to see the mediums in? Maybe like 14 or something? 15?
Yeah, right about that mark, I think, and MDJ's got a clear gap over them, and yeah, I expect the mediums to be in about like 13, 14, depends if it all goes well. I think Mackett has been overtaken by Zenon, and it looks like he had a problem coming out of the Nova chicane. He just had the wall at the exit 2 back there, so I wonder if he's had a moment on the brand new set of hards and may not be up to temperature, and also getting used to the hard hard tyres. Like you talked about early on in the race as well, those hards get up to temperature once you've got the pit lane, and Mansel's been overtaken by Sonic Hawk. They go side by side up the hill, but I think Sonic Hawk has the...
Mackie's out. Where was that? Was it in the pit? It was in the pit.
Yeah, just probably a frustration, just rage retirement there for Mackie. Doesn't want to take part in the Monaco Grand Prix no more, so that's done him done and dusted. He was running so well. He was in the top 7, but yeah, decided to call it a day and won't be scoring any points either. So it looks like Wesker then has got a lot of points to score in there. Williams to try and make up some of that lost ground. He's currently sat in P6 there with Laser all over the back of him. Can't dispose Laser, he just has to keep him behind for the time being. Can't put away now. Maybe the hard compound tyres might be a little bit better than the mediums, but saying that though, the gap was like 5 seconds towards MDJ and Keza. This lap is 5.8, so MDJ is pulling time.
He's definitely pushing, but I wonder if these mediums are starting to overheat a little bit now. Now they've lost a little bit of grip, just starting to slide a bit more and just create a bit more heat. But I think the hards will be in a really good position right now. This is probably where the hard tyre... oh, we got Relks out at the chicane coming out the tunnel.
And that's not even a safety car either. I think it's the same place as Yeast crashed on laps ago, so I'm surprised there's no safety cars. And we still continue racing them for lap 12 out of 39, so 3 crashes on the track and one of them in the pit lane, and no virtual or safety car to slow them down, and Mackey has left the session and leaving his teammate out there to defend from these guys as Laser continuously putting that Williams under pressure then, as his hard compound tyres may be a little better than the mediums then, so we'll come back into play very shortly. But MDJ just keeps pulling a lot of time. The gap is like 7 seconds now, so despite being on those medium compound tyres, as the Williams goes a bit deep there, the external chicane, but 7.2 now, so the gap keeps extending lap after lap as MDJ has the confidence in that Mercedes to just keep pulling time on second place there. And also Keza in a world of his own as well, because JDM 3.2 behind, so Keza's under no pressure. He's just sat there in P2 waiting to go on the medium compound tyres and see if he can gain any time back on MDJ.
I see. I'd be very surprised to see if MDJ actually keeps the win here. I don't think he's on the better strategy.
You still don't think?
No, I don't. I think Kezabi and JDM are in actually a better position, even though he's got that 7.7 seconds. I just think it's going to come down to tyres towards the end. Although his pace is now taking him nearly up to 8 seconds clear, which is monumental.
If he can keep doing this before he pits, extend the gap to 10 seconds, have that safety margin, because that Kez has got a lot of work to do there on those medium compound tyres eventually when he switches over to pull that gap down. That's if he does it, and also another case of overtaking, which if he does do so, so he's got a lot of work in his hands to try and close that gap down and try and overtake MDJ on the track.
Oh, JDM had a moment there. Kuiper's in the back of him. It looks like JDM had a bit of... Yeah, he's all over the place. I think those tyres have had it. Has he been cooking them? This could be an overtaking to turn 1. Keep it clean, boys, keep it clean. JDM survives for another lap, but yeah, he's got way out of shape. I just think when he lost traction on the rear, that must have scorched the tyres a little bit, because it looked like he couldn't get the power down coming out the final turn, and that's affected him all the way up the hill.
Surprised Kuipers is still keeping up with him on those medium compound tyres, and so the Haasman doing a really great job. He's actually dispatched his teammate, and he's got a decent gap behind him towards his teammate. But Kuipers there still putting pressure on P3 with JDM and trying to take advantage. Be smart if that's how going up to this casino square, because you don't want to go side by side through there. It's difficult as it is. Single file, but that was close there. Close as you can get, really.
Yeah, I think that's where people have been going wrong. I think it was Relks and Martin. I think they've hit the barrier with the rear tyre, and that spanned them into the barrier, causing issues.
Kuiper also actually hit the wall coming out of the swimming pool section. The gap is 1.3 then, so last lap he was a position to overtake, and this lap dropped 1.4 seconds then, so it's all gone wrong in this lap there with Kuiper. JDM there's got some breathing space now, he can pull away as Laser continuously putting pressure on Webster ahead of him. The Williams doing a great job of defending despite that pressure from the guys behind too, so let's see how long Webster can sustain that threat from Laser, who's all over the back of it. There's no opportunity to overtake around here, quite high in the EOS as well, as there's not many straights you can really use it, but Laser then will really decide to overtake.
Great launch!
It looks like this one.
Oof.
I know how frustrating it is to be stuck behind somebody, and you might be much faster than them, but you've got to overtake them and pull away. But it's just so frustrating around here. You don't know when to make the move just in case you make contact. But Kuiper has got a 3-second time penalty then, so yeah, it's definitely putting him at a disadvantage now.
I can't see Wesker lasting much longer on these. He's obviously struggling on them tyres.
a whole bunch of trainer cars right behind him too, so we're very careful not to make any mistakes here, otherwise a lot of positions will be lost. Calvin's under huge pressure from Smithy, who's up into P9 from P17 then, so the AlphaTauri lurking in the distance. Oh, Europa's lost traction. I think Oliver almost had to walk without of the smooth ball section too, so you can see a lot of drivers, they're just going deep and misjudging their braking zones as well. We're very careful about that one, as DRS is enabled for the AlphaTauri, but in fact not really useful around here is the DRS, only one detection point as well. Mansell is in the pit lane then, so Zennin was actually catching Mansell at a rate of knots, but luckily for Zennin, he's in the pit lane then, so didn't have to fight him, as he would have lost a lot of time being stuck behind somebody. But yeah, looks like Webster holding his own. The Red Bull spawn, by the way, where's that? Oh, it's
turn
Zennin,
one.
no!
Turn one, I think.
Talk about him, he's just gone for a spin at the exit of turn number 1, and he's dropped him, he's lost his wing too, for good measure, so that's him doing a full lap without a front wing.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Just on board with Rogue Smithy now, eyeing up a move on Calvin. I think he's going to get done into the chicane at the end of the tunnel. He was so close entering it. Might not be close enough here.
Got the ERS to play with, but this is too far back as always around here at Monaco. Just can't get the exits, but it looks like he's got a decent exit, but there's no overtaking opportunity to back here. He stays behind for the time being.
He's doing really well on these used mediums, to be honest with you. It looks like he's got fresh mediums on, even though he's not.
Yeah, these mediums holding their own there. 17 laps on this set of medium compound tyres. Still in great shape there, as Russ Smith keeps revving out the engine coming out of Anthony Nose, especially in first gear as well. You don't see many of that going into first gear, especially in a corner like that too. But Russ Smith there just trying to find a way past, use this ERS up the hill now. You can see the Alpine's actually derating, so Smithy knows that the Alpine's quite low on the ERS then, so probably his chances are probably down at this Nova chicane if he can get a decent exit on all over the back of the Alpine. But Mansell has overtaken Venom as he's in the pit lane then to change his front wing.
11 seconds now for MDJ, he's in the lead. That is a phenomenal lead.
I still think MDJ is on course to win this battle, but I don't see any way Kenta can respond here.
Yeah,
I thought the Hards would be better this stage.
I'm actually inclined to agree with you now. Oh, Rogue Smithy just going a little bit deep, nearly into the back. Yeah, nearly into the back of Calvin, but he made avoiding action. Cut the chicane, he's actually got 3-second time penalty, but I think as long as he don't get any more warnings, he could potentially have that removed.
Yeah, that's just the game.
Smithy's in. Oh. Smithy's sick of that train. Yeah, it is, mate. Yeah. It is.
JDM's actually under pressure now from Kuiper, so Kuiper's lost a lot of time. The gap was like 1.4. He got very close momentarily, but it was actually pulled away. I'm not quite sure if JDM actually made a mistake somewhere, and that allowed Kuipers to be all over the back of him, so be very careful about that. But I think the undercut now is on between these drivers who are in the pit lane. Smithy down the brand new set of hards, he realised he can't get past these guys, so he might as well go for the undercut on those brand new set of hards against all the tyres and try and jump Wesker, Laser and Calvin then. And that's reason fatality hopefully get removed, because he clearly slowed down. He didn't overtake the Williams there. He slowed down enough, but the game thought he got the corner, so that's a shame there for him.
Oh, Burmeister and Sonic looks like changing of the guard coming out the tunnel again. Looks like Burmeister got past him.
His teammates in the pits, by the way, on the medium compound tyres, so let's see where he rejoins. Burmeister actually pitted before his teammate. Has he got the undercut, or was he held behind his teammate, behind the board for that long? Bear in mind that the gap was about 3 seconds, though, so Kuiper. Maybe if he got held up by JDM a bit, I'm not quite sure. But here comes the Haas, well clear his teammate, into P8 he goes. But the problem is, for the Haas now, he's got a whole bunch of cars trying to overtake, unless they go in the pit lane at the exit of this lap, which Laser and Oliver won't do because they're on the hard compound tyres. So Kuiper might actually be held up here, and that might allow his teammate to close down the gap. The gap was like 2.9 seconds before they picked it. It's 1.8, so Burmeister has gained over a second now. Might gain some more with Kuiper being in the back of this train on all the tyres, so it might be difficult to overtake these guys.
Yeah, it's going to be a question of getting undercut done or getting caught up. You can certainly see people making up massive amount of time if they get clean air. But then Rogue Smithy, he's just come back outside behind Mansell. Not what he wanted. Rogue Smithy really wanted clean air, so that's really going to hamper his tactics now.
He needs to get a decent exit coming out of 40 here to try and get him into the Nova chicane. Using the ERS to his advantage. Does he have the straight line speed and that AlphaTauri? Will he have the confidence of being able to go down the inside? Let's see if he does it. It's so tight between the two, and he gets ahead of.
Clean, very clean.
Very clean indeed. Enjoyed that move from Smith there.
That was a very clean move. Fair play. He needed that as well, because he's now got clean air for the next 14 seconds ahead. Exactly what Smithy needed.
And others are fifth as well, so let's see where Smithy fits the equation then, as others have made their pit stops. Only Calvin in the pit lane as well, so not as many drivers I thought there'd be. But there's less people to clear, or Kuipers. Actually, Smithy gets well ahead of Calvin, the man he was racing before, and now he's right ahead of him. Up into P10 he goes. But as you can see, Kuipers is all over the back of Mercedes. He's dragged his teammate along with him as well, despite putting that gap at the start of the race. Burmeister's closed the gap down now, because Kuiper is stuck behind people on all the tyres then. So let's see if Kuiper can dispose those people quickly as he can now, but it's got a lot of risk at overtaking people around here. Don't want to lose that risk, especially being in a great position before as well. I think the Williams there of Webster went a bit deep as the Nova chicane first, obviously with the wider cars keeping behind for the time being. But Kuiper's there all over the back of Mercedes. Can he do it into Raskas? It'd be a big ask. He needs a decent exit at the swim pool section. I think he does. And now would he go alongside the Mercedes? No. Mercedes puts that car in the middle of the road. Unless
contact!
But he actually hits him as well for good measure. Backs it out of it to make sure he doesn't overtake him. And then he stays in P7 for the time being. It's so frustrating on newer tyres being stuck behind guys on older tyres. And knowing you've got more pace as well, you just can't do anything about it, can you?
No, nothing at all really. Wait for a mistake maybe, that's about it. MDJ's got a time penalty, 3 seconds. Not that I think it's going to affect this race, but yeah. Oh, Laser's finally getting past Wesker. Has he got it done? I think he has got it done. A little bit of contact. So Laser now just needs to use a couple of laps just to try and build a bit of a buffer and then come in for some mediums.
He's fine disposed Webster.
Yeah.
He's been stuck behind him for the whole race.
He needed to do that. He really needs to do that. And then we're going to get Oliver doing the same, I think.
And look at Kuiper. He's got a decent exit up here. Oh, look at Burmeister's gone deep on the brakes. He hits his teammate. Good understanding. We'll be happy about that one. Hopefully there's no damage between those two, but that was late on the brakes. They wanted to overtake the Mercedes, but ended up actually hitting his teammate. And both Hasses there looks like they got out unscathed with no damage whatsoever. Burmeister was desperate to get past the Mercedes, but his teammate there too, fighting with his teammate after losing a lot of time towards him. And now Rex is under huge pressure.
Yeah, Wesker's in. Wesker's finally in. Rogue Smith getting a time penalty as well.
I'm actually surprised that Wexter took the tyres 20 laps on those mediums. I think some people could stayed out longer on the mediums in comparison to the hard runners. So that's incredible around here on those medium compound tyres. 21 laps for Laser and MDJ in P1 as well. But that's 13-second gap. He continuously, despite being on all the tyres, extends. If he could do that, the longer he can go on those mediums, the better for him later on in the race, reducing the tyre wear towards the end on those hards. Or maybe the soft compound tyres, who knows?
I am surprised that MDJ is getting this amount of time out of these tyres now though. I mean, 22 laps, that is phenomenal. 13 seconds, or 14 second advantage. Kezabi just pits, he's had enough. It's absolutely phenomenal from MDJ here. Absolute stellar drive.
It is indeed, as JDM and Keza are in the pit lane then to get rid of the hard compound tyre to put on a brand new set of meds then. Oh, Burmeister just scraped the wall coming out the swimming pool section there. But the integrity of these front wings, we won't see a lot of damage these days with the front wing. You can see some people actually smash into the wall, well not too far, like Lewis Hamilton did back in Singapore, and didn't even sustain any front wing damage, so get away with it just a bit there, but not too much. Smithy is alongside the Ferrari, up the inside into, that's so close there with track limits, but he gets ahead of the Ferrari, up into P6 from P17 by the way, to reiterate that. So what a great drive for Smithy so far in this race.
Yeah, but Smithy's on 9 seconds of penalties.
I didn't even know that.
Yep, 9 seconds of penalties, everyone else is on 3. Or everyone that's got a penalty is on 3.
definitely cost him. But MDJ is in the pit lane immediately then. Let's see what tyres he goes on. Is it the softs or hard? It's the hard compound tyres then, so not messing around in the softs just in case they don't make it. He puts in a brand new set of hards. He's got a huge gap. He could probably just extend his stint if he wanted to, but he just playing a safe game, pits in immediately after Keza, and on the hard compound tyres he goes then. He joins in first place with a massive gap as well as Keza makes his way around the final corner. MDJ's going up the hill towards Casino Square then, so Keza, despite being on the medium compound tyres, I don't think he'll close in on MDJ, because MDJ's had relentless pace around here.
We've got
a big ass.
Indigo, we've got Calvin all over the back of Mansell here. According to the end of lap 24, he's really putting the pressure on. I'd be surprised if Calvin don't get past Mansell here. Mansell's first race back in a long time. Goes to the outside.
Oh, that was close to the wall there. You actually could hear him hit the wall or tap it.
Yeah, I thought it was a dead overtake then. Obviously I was wrong, but we've got Laser itching to get past Calvin now as well. So it's a bit of a three-way battle now. Maybe a four-way battle because we've got Wesker on the back of him as well.
And he's on the soft compound tyres too for good measure, so he thinks he can take them towards the end. We'll find out. 15 laps to go in this race, 16 for him, including those 2 laps, or 17 to get my maths right. But let's see then, is it going to be a stretch for Wesker to go to the end on those soft compound tyres? Who knows? We've seen there's a lot of surprising things.
Oh, it does seem like the tyres are lasting a lot longer than we thought.
Yeah, I thought that too. I thought the tyres would be fading away about 10 laps to go for those mediums, but still they continue with it. So Keza, JDM should have no problems whatsoever goes to the end on their set of tyres, especially with the fuel getting low as well. The track surface improving at rate and knocks with these drivers circulating it and continuously putting rubber down too to affect the grip around here. But Laser on the back of both hard runners there wants to get past them, but still stuck behind them.
Yeah, I'm sure it's getting frustrating for some of these. Laser actually got on the last lap, just before he entered the tunnel, he actually dinked his wing on the left, but it doesn't look like he's got damage at all. He's got away with that.
These drivers get lucky here with escaping without any front wing damage. You've seen quite a few people tap the wall. Maybe they got light green, who knows, but still, there's no point pitting and losing that track position with 5-car battle now, because the Mercedes of Oliver has joined in this fight then. So Mansell finds himself 4 cars right behind him, so huge pressure there from the McLaren driver. Maybe he's doing his teammates some favours because he's keeping Calvin at bay too. And once Calvin gets past, if he gets past Mansell might let Laser go then to continue putting pressure on Calvin. So let's see if he plays the team game here and holds Calvin up.
I mean, I can see this going wrong here, Indigo. I really can, because obviously Laser's going to get frustrated, Calvin's going to get frustrated, Oliver's definitely, he wants to be in the fight. I might be wrong, but yeah, it's certainly gearing up for a bit of a fight. Keza B bringing that lead that MDJ had down to 10.5 seconds now. It is getting better, but that is just the difference between the mediums and the hards. I suspect he might be able to get as close as 6, maybe 7 seconds, but then obviously the hards will come into their own and they'll start yanking it back out again, possibly.
Look at this, you can see Calvin essentially pushing Mansell through the corners there, but it's so intense this battle. One mistake, and if one driver ahead spins out or makes a mistake, others could find themselves pressured out too with that pendulum effect. But we'll see them coming out to Portier. Nobody's close enough to make a move down the double chicane, so no overtakes as suspect. Later was actually quite close to overtaking Calvin, but he covered the racing line anyway and stayed in P8. But as you can see there, over the curve we go to an open chicane. Looks like Laser gets better traction, but there's no way through. He's got a substantial amount of EOS to get past that LP, but he can't use it because this track not having enough straights there. Coming out of the swimming pool session then, as Laser does not have the exits he needs to try and get past the Alpine. Let's see if he has the grip coming out of the final corner onto his nose to try and get close like he was last time round. Sonic Hawk has overtaken, or it's actually been a mistake, I think he's gone for a slight spin. No front wing damage there, so looking to escape the walls. It's so tight around here, especially with high speed as well. Laser gets a decent exit coming out of turn number 1 there, but still the Alpine puts that car in the middle of the racetrack to prevent any overtaking. He's actually attacking and defending is the LP driver, so that's going to be quite a task there. Laser, will he go up the inside? Oh, there's contact there with the other McLaren, but down the inside goes Oliver. It gets pushed against the wall there. There's Oliver with Wesker taking the racing line, but I thought Wesker would have that covered today, being on soft compound tyres, because good for his tyres. And Ruffy has crashed. He's crashed. Well, he crashed in qualifying too, so the story ends here tonight in Monaco for him, unfortunately, after a great drive, and still there's no safety car. I'm sure the safety cars are on.
it's on reduced, car damage rate is on reduced as well, but yeah, it is on. So just on board with JDM as well, he's been putting pressure on Kezabi up the front for this P2 position. MDJ just eking that lead back out now, nearly 12 seconds, so he's found his groove on those hard tyres. JDM, he just needs to try and force Kezabi into a mistake. These two have been hammer and tongs since lap 1. Could it be close enough now for a move? I don't think so. Not quite.
Loads of different battles going on, it's hard to keep it out. JDM gets a 3-second time penalty, so if a late safety car does come out, it might play into the hands of Keza there with no penalties, so we need to make sure he doesn't put penalties because opportunities can be gained from him. But Calvin desperately wants to get past that McLaren. He's defending from one McLaren and attacking the other, so he's got a mighty job in his hands. He's trying to overtake one of them and keep the other behind.
Yeah, Calvin certainly found his feet on this track. It's been an intense battle between these 5 drivers, absolutely unbelievable. Oh, he's going for the inside line, and he's through. Calvin got through. What a move. Second driver of this race to make a successful pass into that corner. Absolutely fantastic from Calvin there. Now, is Laser went through Mansell as well, so did Mansell have an issue? Looks like Mansell does have an issue because he's struggling now.
Yeah, he is, unfortunately. Mansell let his teammate go, knowing that his teammate's on fresher tyres. Oh, Mansell's losing traction all over the place.
Yeah, something's happened. Has he got rear wing damage?
I'm not quite sure. I'm not seeing any hits from that McLaren on the rear wing, but hopefully, maybe it's just him losing traction, just not having the grip at all, quite at the corners, those hard compound tyres not really working the way he likes to work them. But Calvin then finally disposes the McLaren. I'd be a bit frustrated now seeing the McLaren dropped into 10th place there, because he was fighting for the whole time, and now he sees it with P10 with others overtaking at ease as well, with him struggling as Venom's in the pit lane there to on a brand new set of softs with 9 laps left to go. Oh, Laser's just hit the wall coming out there, so it might hinder him just a bit, but hopefully not too much as he continues battle then with the Alpine.
He's still got his end plates as Laser. That's twice he's hit that wall on the left hand side before entering the tunnel, getting away with no wing damage, so he's lucky on that one. But Calvin's got 20 seconds to make up for Burmeister, so I think Calvin's now all he can really do is try and build that gap, that 3-second penalty gap to Laser, but Laser's on a charge with no penalties. Wesker, I think those softs should be coming to an end soon, so that'll bring Oliver back into it. And then Mansell's struggling on those hards for some reason, don't know why.
It shouldn't be too bad, those hard compound tyres, but maybe now with the fight attaching, he might. I'm not quite sure what's actually happened. Maybe he's got damage or not, who knows, maybe bodywork damage, but there was no contact between Calvin or Mansell. Maybe a little bit, but not too much to sustain any damage on the back of that McLaren.
I wonder if he's picked up rubber on the off racing line, and that's what's affected his run through that last section.
Oh yeah, that's also another thing as well. I keep forgetting that, the marbles on the outside of the track, that's a factor in this game now. With you can see the marbles there. If you got offline, you'll pick up a lot of marbles. Not like in the other games as well, 2022 or all the games, if I remember correctly, going out off the racing line and picking up rubber. So that's also another factor. Oliver's overtaken. In fact, they're both off the track there, so I'm not quite sure if Oliver went for a late move and forced each other off the track. But however, Wesker has pitched for 3-second time penalty there, so you might want to get that removed, because I dare say, well, he actually I'm not quite sure what actually happened to this.
So 50% of the drivers have penalties, a little bit more than 50% actually. There's only 5 drivers, is it? Yeah, 5 drivers without penalties. So we've got Kezabi, Laser, Oliver, Mansell and Sonic Hawk all without penalties. Everyone else has at least 3 seconds.
And shout out to all the drivers who haven't pitted any penalties, because this is such a difficult track, and it's a huge achievement, even if you're not inside the top 10 or scoring a lot of points. It's a huge achievement not picking up any penalties. It may pay dividends later on. If there is a safety car, you might find yourself catapulting up the order if there is one, but it doesn't turn out to be so far. But Burmeister is 3.1. He was pressurised his teammate on that first pit stop, after the first pit stop, when Kuipers was behind a whole bunch of cars, but ever since they disposed of him, Kuipers actually pull away like he did on the first event, so it's like Kuipers a good pass out of the two of them. However, JDM still pressurising Keza as well for that P2. These two were running a race of their own bit really on the first stint, because JDM was about 3.2 seconds away from Keza, so he's got a lot of pace on this second half of the race as JDM found pace on the video compound tyres and now pressurising Keza.
Yeah, I'm just on board with Oliver. I'm watching how Wesker's acting on these soft tyres. It definitely looks like he's losing a bit of turning on the front, but he's getting a great shoot out of the corner, so the rears are still firing up for him, but he's just struggling to turn the car in. Oliver's looking quite tidy on these mediums, so he's obviously waiting. I don't think Wesker can make it to the end on these softs, not without going off or missing his braking, so I think Oliver just needs to bide his time. Now he does really need to get past Wesker, because if he can get onto the back of Laser and Oliver can then jump up. No, they'll only get past Calvin's so far behind from Burmeister, but they could jump one position with that penalty that Calvin's got. 16-second lead now for MDJ, absolute monumental from him today. So let's check up on.
Hasn't looked back at all ever since he took pole.
But see, that's just he's found clean air, he's taken advantage of it, and he's just kept that lead all the way through this race. 16.5 seconds is the most it's been all race now, just encroaching on 17 seconds.
It's just incredible the pace you can have here around Monaco. He's got a penalty, but he can pick up more if he wants to, because he's got a huge gap. As JDM's hit 40 here, he turned a bit too early, trying to put Keza under pressure. Now the gap is going to be over a second now. Hopefully JDM hasn't got any wind damage on the AlphaTauri. He keeps trying to pressurise the Alpine, but the Alpine Keza, he hits the wall again, and that puts him onto the curb. Might pick up another warning for JDM then. So turned a bit too early once again, clipped the apex, which forced him off the track. Maybe got another warning for good measure too, so JDM will be really careful here as he continues. He's still closing the gap down, by the way. It looks like he's got a lot more speed and confidence on the AlphaTauri against Keza, but Keza, his job is not get a 3-second time penalty and put the car in the middle of the track to prevent JDM from overtaking him. That's his job.
Yeah, I've just jumped on board with Oliver now, because I think he's gearing up for an overtake. I'll be surprised if he didn't get past Wesker within the next 2 laps.
Should do with those soft compound tyres constantly degrading. The softest tyre the more maybe starts opening just a little bit too, as Oliver gets so slithery coming out of the Nova chicane. But Wesker there might be close towards Pudgy territory. He pitted very early on the soft compound tyres around about lap 23 if I get my maths right on that time. But Wesker there will be under huge pressure from Oliver, as his tyres will be much better in comparison towards Wesker. So Wesker, can he hold on? I don't think he can, because he's got physical tyre penalty, so it'll be a huge ask to do so. But Glazer is putting pressure on Calvin, but there's no way through.
5 laps remaining.
On the graphic,
go on, mate.
What about that? On the graphic, it looked like JDM was about a few hunches away, so he's sort of putting huge pressure in these corners there, but still can't find a way fast. That's the huge problem around this track, especially with the wider cars as well. If it was like the 2016 cars, it looked like he might have a shot at an overtake here, but unfortunately for him, these cars are a bit too wide.
Yeah, they're a lot longer as well, which obviously doesn't suit this track. Makes it Oliver's much closer. Just backs out of it at the last minute.
You don't want to make the same mistake as he did, because they both went off together. I think Oliver tried to go up the inside, but Wesker was there on the outside. He must have outbroke himself, which caused both cars to go off the track, and Wesker picked up his first penalty due to that as well. So I think Wesker might be level pegging in terms of not having any penalties. Obviously he got a penalty right now, but he might have that removed, and if he has a pitch for another warning, or let's see how it all falls between those two then.
Yes, this is the reason why I don't really like Monaco. I like driving it, but it's horrendous for fair racing. And I'm not saying the drivers aren't fair, in terms of allowing drivers to race properly. Because, I mean, case in point, look at Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen should have won that easily, but he just couldn't get past a driver that was on 54 lap all mediums. You know, it's not really the essence of driving, is it, or what racing is all about?
Yeah, I remember that race as well. As Oliver there, so close. Might try again, you know, but
I think Wesson needs to. Yeah, I think Wesson needs to relinquish that because he moved over on Oliver.
I think Magnussen did that on Albon as well, as Oliver now is up into P8. But I remember that 2019 race where Sonic is overtaking Mansell, but he goes deep. He went a bit too deep, and Mansell might get him back, you know, with the illegal overtake. And Sonic also picks up a 5-second penalty as well to add to some miseries in this race. But yeah, the 2019 race where Charles Leclerc caused a safety car with a puncher, tried to overtake Nico Hulkenberg.
Was that into Raskas, was it? And he hit the right. Yeah, I remember that.
And Lewis Hamilton picked up the mediums. He thought it was the wrong decision. I think it was because, well, it wasn't because he won the race, but in any other track, he would have been overtaken.
Oh yeah,
he managed
massively.
to hold on. And Verstappen tried desperately to try and get past him, but into Nova Chicane, they both made contact with Verstappen, trying to go down the inside, but wasn't enough space to do so, and therefore made contact. It's racing. He tried his best. It's what he could do really. He's got to force one of the insides one way or another. But Hamilton won that race. I think Verstappen finished in P2. I think Bottas had a 5-second penalty for going side by side with an unsafe release with Verstappen. I think dropped out into P4. Or was it Verstappen? I can't quite remember.
I can't remember that far back now, mate. But yeah, just touching on Oliver now, he's less than a lap and he's 3 seconds in front of Wesker. Just shows you how much Wesker was holding him up there.
Yeah, it's incredible as well. You don't realise how much time these guys lose when stuck behind somebody. Then you realise once they get ahead of them, they're sort of putting out a massive gap as well. So yeah, so it is frustrating. But MDJ doesn't have to worry about anything other than the Williams in the way. He's ghosted anyway, so the Williams will have to get away with the blue flag. But MDJ, what a fantastic race from him. The Dutchman really showing us incredible racing at Mercedes. 22 seconds is the gap between himself and Keza, as Keza has got JDM for company still in this race. Keza, important for him not to pick a penalty as well or make mistakes, because he's doing such a great job keeping his own in P2.
Yeah, they've been glued together literally from lap 1. Is he close enough on this one? Don't think he is. It must be so frustrating, especially when you're so matched on pace and just nowhere at all to get a move done. Although we have seen 2 drivers successfully do an overtake coming out of the tunnel, which is really nice to see. Or is it 3 now? Could be 3.
Yeah, I think Adrian Sutil did the same thing back in 2013 as well. Yeah, 2 great races back in 2008 where he overtook people, and 2013, obviously in that occasion, 2008 where Kimi Raikkonen now broke himself and smashed into the back and caused him to retire. But Adrian Sutil also, I think Sergio Perez is another driver, or early days in his McLaren 460 team Salmon as well, where he did quite a few overtakes around here. But 2013, it didn't pay off for him because he actually smashed into Raikkonen. His JDM picks up a 3-second time penalty again.
Yeah, he's got a nice buffer to Kuipers though.
Yeah, 22 seconds, he won't be phased about that one was. Probably not care anymore. He's still pressurising Keza to try and get a P2 just bad really to overtake him on this track in Monaco. It's the last lap by the way, so this race is blown by.
I've just jumped on board MDJ to watch what he's doing on the last lap on these hard tyres, and I tell you one thing, he's looking rapid. How he's keeping these hard tyres firing up so well is very impressive.
The Dutchman of Mikey de Jong has done a fantastic job. It's just incredible. I've not really been on board with him once in this race because there's been battles down. I can't really go on board with him because things are happening in different places on the track. But what an incredible drive from MDJ, just watching him as well going into the chicane. There's his teammate lapping now, and he moved out of the way to allow his teammate to go. That's Oliver in the Mercedes there, as MDJ then is coming through. Let's move a pole section now. Let's see how he takes it. Very nicely through there. He's got the confidence to ride the curve, by the way. I think McLaren has. Is that laser? in the final corner. That's the Alpine slow it down. Calvin! He's run out of fuel on the final lap of this race. He's underfueled the car by too much there, and he's paid the consequences. MDJ wins the race. What a fantastic race there from MDJ, and fully deserved as well, to say.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. What a drive from MDJ. I mean, I don't normally give commentators vote for driver of the day to first place, but he thoroughly deserves driver of the day. Keza B coming home in P2, he'll be well happy with that. And then JDM sealing P3 with a massive gap back to Kuipers. Kuipers and Burmeister, they've pretty much been glued together most of this race, actually. They started together, they finished together. It looks like Burmeister's going to just survive because he's got a nice buffer to Laser, 18 seconds back.
Laser must be frustrated there because he was stuck behind Calvin, and he was stuck behind Wesker and Calvin for the majority of this race. And now seeing Calvin run out of fuel, Laser's finally been released as Burmeister finishes in P5, 1.3 away from his teammates, so very close towards the end before they got down too. But Laser there will finish in P6 then, and Calvin, looks like other people might run out of fuel. No, they've finished the race because of the laps. But Calvin there, you understand why he's run out of fuel, because you expect safety cars around here, so in your head, you just underfuel the car, because that's the natural thing to do around here. But,
yeah, I mean, with the underfueling, I'm not sure the underfueling actually gives you that much of an advantage, to be honest with you. Maybe for the first 2 laps it might give you a slight advantage, but I don't think it's quite as powerful as it should be. It's quite underpowered, is the underfueling. So I tend to not just risk it. If anything, go level fuel, but yeah, certainly don't put any extra in, and very rarely take any out these days.
Yeah, I just put it over 1.5 every track. I don't really underfuel the car either. I don't feel the difference. Maybe I've not raced too much in these modern day Formula 1 cars to really recognise that, but yeah, it's not. I don't really do it. Just keep it 1.5, just one plus extra fuel. Knowing there'll be safety cars around any track, but yeah, it's just one of those things really. And yeah, he should be ashamed of that. It's going to happen anyway around Monaco, expecting safety cars. But Calvin still finished in P7 because the guys behind were actually lapped, so he only lost 1 place by the way, despite running out of fuel.
So a quick rundown on the finishing order. MDJ taking that win, absolute monumental from him. Keza B in second, we've got JDM in third, rounding off the podium positions. We've got Kuipers in fourth, Burmeister in fifth. We've got Vlaser finishing off in sixth, only gaining 1 position. We've got Calvin making quite a few positions to finish in seventh. We've got Oliver finishing in eighth. We've got Wesker in ninth. We've got Sonic Hawk in 10th, up from 14th. Very good outing for him. We've got Mansell in 11th. We've got Zenon in 12th. Rogue Smithy in 13th at DNF'd on lap 28, I think it was. Relks DNF, Mackett DNF, and Martin DNF, as well as Yeast down in 17th. Quick look at race director incidents. Let's capture this for the stream. And I'll get. Are you alright to get people in the party, or do you want me to do that, mate?
I can get a few in if you want.
I mean, I can do it, so I'm just not. There'll be a blue screen for a short while. Add players. Alright, cool, nice one. Okay, so B. Did you say you done MDJ? I'll do JDM as well then. Sound. to 77. That's all 3 invited in. Let's see if we're getting to join us. So yeah, quite surprised at the lack of safety cars there though. There was a couple couple of crashes where you'd automatically think that the safety car be brought out, but yeah, surprises, surprises.
Hello.
Have we got MDJ in?
Yes.
Ah, sweet. Right, we may as well start with you, mate. Let me just bring up the Mercedes car. Right, I'm not sure this is a really good question to ask you, but how was your race, mate?
It was quite consistent. Trying to, keep my medium tires longer than the hard tires, because once you pit and you are driving behind someone, you cannot overtake them whatsoever. So I didn't take the chance, and I tried to stay out as long as possible on the mediums until the hard guys were gonna pit, and it worked out, and I actually extended my gap to second and third, even on the hards, which was a surprise to me. But I kind of figured that Keza had wing damage from what I understood. So I mean, it could have been close, but it wasn't, and I got a quite lonely race after it. So
yeah. So what was the reasoning behind starting on the mediums? Were you not worried about the hards not firing up, or did you know you had the pace advantage outright?
Well, my worry was that I was gonna have not a good start. Let's say I'm not that good with starts. So to compensate, I have to start with compound softer.
Okay.
And it's Monaco, so you want to stay ahead, no matter what, no matter what tire you're on. So that's what I tried, and it worked. And then from there, I tried to extend my gap and get into a free pit stop, but that didn't work. So I just waited and waited until the rest pitted.
Fair play. Indigo, anything from you, mate?
Well, this could be my first time interviewing you, Mikey, because
hi, Jamie.
they're usually racing together on track, argue with each other in their parties, but now for the first time I'm interviewing you, you've shown some really great pace. That was amazing for you to lead all the race and only pick up one penalty, but that didn't really matter because you had it in the bag anyways with like a 22-second gap. So I just want to say a massive congratulations to you, mate. And Monaco, is it one of your favourite tracks to race around?
Oh well, yes, most definitely for a few years now.
Yeah, you've always been quite strong around here ever since I've seen you race as well. So, yeah, congrats on the win, mate, and hopefully there's more to come from you because that was a great drive tonight.
Yes, thank you, mate.
It's all right.
Do we have Kezabi in the podiums?
No.
We don't have Kezabi. Right. Okay. Anyways, so JDM, how you doing? Yeah. How frustrating was that being stuck behind Kezabi for 39 laps? Oh, I ask all the right questions, don't I? So, do you think you could have done anything different in that race? Yeah, fair play, mate. Fair play. Going into Spain next week, is it a track that you like, and do you think you can get another podium out of it? Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's your call, mate, but I will say one thing. You were in 12th. With that podium, that's probably going to catapult you not up the table, but it will put you in a more comfortable position. You're probably going to be around 7th, I would imagine, after that, because you were lacking a few points, but that is probably the race you needed to get you back in the fight for some positions. So obviously it sounds like you've got a tough day next week. It'd be fully understandable if you don't race, mate, but yeah, food for thought, mate. Food for thought, mate. It does. I mean, you've got to remember as well, it is a very long season. We've still got like 17 races or 16 races to go. So yeah, just try and do as many races as you can and keep that form, mate. You never know what's going to happen. There's a few people that are up the front that, I mean, look at Martin. He's in P5 in the standings, and just one small mistake in a race, and it's ended him. So it does show that, you know, even the fast drivers that are at the front, or the consistent drivers, make mistakes. So carry that form forward, mate. You might be able to pick up some more positions. No, well, I don't know what Indigo's voting for, but I've already voted for MDJ to have it with that colossal drive. Yeah, and he was in P1 every lap. Indigo, what do you think for driver of the day, mate?
I'm sorry, JDM. It's got to go to MDJ. but listen, like, it's your first podium of the season as well, so you must be happy, because to do it in a place like Monaco, a difficult track, it's a really special place to do it as well. So would it build your confidence up for the next few races? You said you're missing Spain, but would you be back for Canada, and how would you feel for that track?
Fair play, fair play. So yeah, great shout out to all the drivers. Did really well tonight, especially MDJ, Keza B, and JDM for picking up those podium positions. Indigo, thank you so much for your commentary tonight, mate. You're absolutely amazing on comms. Yeah, definitely nice to have someone in the comms box that has the knowledge as well, mate. So thanks for that, pal.
Yeah, no worries. Pleasure to commentate with you for the first time.
Yeah. Good stuff, mate. Right, so Spain next week. Obviously a bit more of a racier track, so we could see a lot more action. I'm looking forward to it. I think Monaco is a bit of a snooze fest, but back to real racing next week for Spain. So hopefully we can do comms again together, mate, and watch the guys around Spain.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, Monaco can either be a very exciting race or a boring race. At least we're away from that now. And Spain, yeah, like you said, should be a great race as well. Plenty of opportunities to overtake as well. So can't wait for that one.
Good stuff, good stuff. So obviously next week, Monday, it will be Division 2 kicking the week off. Realistic Performance should be back up next week, I believe, as well. So it's Monday for Division 2, Tuesday for Division 1, and then on Friday, the Realistic Performance kicking back off for its second season in SFR. So stay tuned for that. So thanks for joining us again, Indigo. Everyone who's watching, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week for Spain.